And thanks for sticking with us. We want to go to our next story. Millions are expected to rally across the country tomorrow for the second round of what are called No Kings protests, including many in West Michigan communities. But for people who will be taking part in those, what can and can't they do? I spoke with the state chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union to get the details on what you need to know. You can legally protest, the ACLU says, in areas like sidewalks and in front of government buildings, as long as you are not blocking access or interfering with operations. When you get onto the streets is where it could get a little tricky. A January memo in the state attorney general's office noted, quote, use of the streets for assembly and communication is a right held by U.S. citizens pursuant to the First Amendment. But at the same time, that same memo noted, quote, the government may restrict the right to access to streets for assembly and communication through appropriate regulations. Now, according to Michigan law, quote, a person without authority shall not block, obstruct, or impede, or otherwise interfere with the normal flow of vehicular, streetcar, or pedestrian traffic upon a public street or highway in the state by means of a barricade, object, or device, or with his or her person. But what if you end up in a situation where you feel your rights may have been violated by law enforcement? Here's a clip when I had that conversation earlier today.
Afterwards, you really want to engage in some really thorough documentation. If there's a badge number, if there's a patrol car number, if you know the officer's name, if there's any witnesses around who also saw the incident, you'd really want to document that, and then you can, provide it to a civil rights commission, or if you have a local oversight commission, you can provide that information to them as well.
And if someone is arrested or detained at one of these protests, especially in the event that they're following everything, all the guidance that you're laying out, that the ACLU it lays out, they believe they're doing everything as they need to do, and they may be arrested or detained, what are their options?
Yeah, I would say if you are arrested at a protest, which again, I think that has not really happened at these No Kings protests and is not something we're anticipating seeing, the first thing that I would say is most important is say out loud that you're invoking your right to remain silent and ask for an attorney. So those are things that it's really important to do right from the outset. You don't have to, if you invoke your right to remain silent and ask for an attorney, those would be the first couple of things I would say. And, if they are seeking to arrest you, my recollection is you do have to provide identification. But, hopefully we don't see people in that situation because we're anticipating these to be peaceful protests. And, just make sure people remember the right to remain silent and invoking the right to remain silent, and then also asking for an attorney.
And law enforcement can disperse a protest, the ACLU says, if there is determined to be, quote, a clear danger of riot, disorder, interference with traffic, or other immediate threat to public safety. But they note that must only be used as law enforcement's last resort.